We're going to go ahead started. Could everybody do me a favor? You should see a slide that has a picture of a guy with smiling, a pink shirt, and a goatee. Just put me Y or yes if you can see that. I just want to make sure everybody's good to go. Ellen, thank you so much. When we change different speakers, we want to make sure that the technology works and everything else. Now today, I'm going to keep things a little bit easier or simpler is kind of what my goal. We have with Market Traders Institute, I'll talk about our company in just a moment. We have a lot of great tools. We have a lot of great education. We've got software. Today, I want to talk about a simple aspect, a simple tool that can enhance your trading. Now, we specialize in foreign exchange and Forex trading. I'll talk about that one. But what I'm going to be specializing is a tool that is extremely powerful, something that you can use. We use it for Forex, but it does give you the capability to use it for other products as well. So I'm going to be introducing that. But probably you've had this as well with others. We want to make sure before we continue on with anything that there is always risk involved anytime you are investing or trading in the market. So first off, only trade money in the market that you can afford to lose. Losses are a normal part of learning and trading. So always start with either a very small account, or better yet, you can actually do a demo account. If you don't have a demo account, work with us. We can set one up. And what a demo account is, it allows you to place literally like live trades and the real life example, and it's real life live fills, but the money, the losses as well as the gains are a simulated account. And we always recommend that people start this way till you get comfortable. You get comfortable with the technology, you get comfortable with the strategies. You know, it just pains me. I've heard of people saying, yeah, I started doing something and I lost $1,000 or $5,000. And I always ask the question, how? Because you never should. You always want to apply what we call as risk management or money management. That is something that we teach. So hopefully everybody understand. Make sure you understand something before you're trading with real live money accounts, get your questions answered and so forth. Now today, I'm going to be introducing a little bit about the foreign exchange market. We call it Forex. Okay, we're going to talk about that one. I'm going to show you some real simple techniques how to analyze using charting software as well as some automated tools. It's kind of like you could have if you're a roofer, you could use a hammer and nails, and it's very efficient and it works, but it takes a certain amount of time. Now imagine if you have a power nail gun. You have a little bit more tools and you can go literally 5 times, maybe 10 times as fast. So that's what automation does. I'm going to be showing you, bringing you up to date. So the current market, current trade opportunity. We'll talk very briefly about setting up a trading demo account. And then we're also going to be showing you, I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to set up a trial software if you want, and we're going to keep on going. So I want to do one more quick check-in. I've got one person who said they can't hear me. Can everybody else still hear me in the chat box, in the question box? Just give me, sometimes we have one person that has a little bit of difficulty, not everybody. So it looks like everybody else is still good to go. Okay, good. So a little bit about myself. My name is Steve Koenig. I am a senior market analyst here at Market Traders Institute. I know I got a little bit of an introduction. You know, I've got the education. I went to school. My undergraduate degree was international business because I just see the world as a global market. I've been actively trading and investing for over 25 years. True story, in college, I had a little bit of extra money and I went to a stockbroker, said, what should I do? And at age 18, 19, I was already in the stock market. I didn't know what I was doing. I had advice, but since then it kind of bit me. I really enjoyed it and I got going. And then from there, I actually became a stockbroker. The guy that introduced me, or one of the people introduced me, I liked him. I got to know his firm and actually went on to work there. So I am a former stockbroker. The reason I say former is I just had so much fun trading and I did a lot of educating. I like working with people and helping them trade their own account. So I was a lousy stockbroker, meaning my job was to sell ideas, but I was a great teacher. I was a great educator. And that's what I do now. I mentor and I educate people in the financial markets. Okay, so that's what I enjoy doing. To date, I have trained and educated thousands of people, and my goal is to teach people to work towards their own financial independence. I'm a speaker. I've done events for international audiences. Now on the screen, it says that I am a full-time trader. You know, I actually consider myself a part-time trader, and I live life full-time. And what I mean by that, I can literally spend 30 minutes a day, finding my trades and setup, and I walk away. I set what I call a set and forget trades. Give me a yes or no if you've ever heard of this term before. Set and forget. You set the trade and you walk away, you forget it. So yes, if you're familiar with set and forget is. No, if you are not familiar with set and forget. So just go ahead and put that in the question box, the chat box. Want to make sure you're familiar. So what I do is in the mornings, I'm kind of a morning guy. I get up, I check the markets, I put on the trades, and I live life. I am now married. I have a beautiful wife, a young 9-year-old daughter, and I used to have a job where I was working 27 days a month, and I would work an average of 80 hours a week. And although I made decent money, I didn't have time. And I kind of vowed I wasn't going to do that anymore. Well, now, like for my daughter, she was in 3rd grade. I was a classroom parent, helped out in the classroom. I'm the parent of, again, happily married, but I'm the guy I'm the soccer dad. I take my daughter to swim practice, to gymnastics. We work out, we hang out, we have a lot of fun. And trading has allowed me that opportunity. So that's what I like to say. I trade part-time. I live life full-time. Now I'm with an organization called Market Traders Institute, or you hear us just calling it MTI. And MTI, again, it stands for Market Traders Institute. And we've been doing this now since 1994. So we're talking about well over 30 years, or 23 years. Excuse me. We're now at 23 years. We are based in Orlando, Florida, and we do teach students live on campus, but the majority of our operations, a lot of people, we have students in over 30 countries. So the vast majority of our education or training, you can learn right online, just like you're doing right now. And we really specialize in three areas. I call it the trifecta. If you look on the left-hand side of the screen, you're going to see where it says education, software, and mentorship. And I really call that the big three. And the first thing is you need to get a proper education, and you need to learn your skill, your strategies, what have you. Now, the education by itself is all great, but if you don't have the software, if you don't have the tools to help you apply that, it's a challenge. Well, we have, I think, the best software out there. I'm going to show you a little bit later. But then there's the third component, and that's the mentorship. You can get the education. I've known people to go through a 1-week crash course, and then you're expected to do it on your own, and it never works that way. So MTI works with continual mentorship. We have daily and weekly follow-up sessions, education. We have something called Analysts on Demand, where you can just call, or you can go online and say, hey, here I'm having problems here. I like this, or what's going on, and it's open 24 hours a day. So it's very supportive. These are the big three. This is what attracted me to MTI. Now, we were founded by a gentleman called Jared Martinez. He's known as the FX Chief. He himself started many years even before, and he figured something out. He saw a repeating pattern over and over happening in the markets. And before technology, he had to do it longhand. So it would take him about an hour of calculator and pencil and ruler and paper to see something. Well, now what used to take him an hour with the technology and automation, we can do in 2 seconds. And I'll demonstrate that a little bit later. So it's really good. A little bit more about MTI, great company. We have all kinds of accolades. We were rated in the Inc. 500, one of the fastest growing private companies out there. Last year, we were ranked number 592. So a little bit about MTI. We are well established. We have over 200 staff. We're in over 30 countries. We have over 30,000 students. In this business, to be a company that's over 23 years old is a testament to the company, the stability, everything else. So just wanted to give you a little bit of background so you feel comfortable with it. Now, today we're going to talk a little bit about the foreign exchange market, or the Forex market. And I'm going to show you some tools, and I'm going to show you a real simple program of how to apply it. But I'd like to know a little bit more about my audience, okay, so who you are. So in the chat box, in the question box that you've been putting so far, what I'd like you to do is type in either a 1, a 2, or a 3. Now, if you are not real familiar with the Forex market, maybe you've never placed a Forex trade, maybe you don't have a Forex account open, I would consider that a 1. If that would be you, please put a 1 in the question box or chat box. Now, if you do already have some experience in the Forex market, maybe you already have a a Forex account open, you've placed some trades, maybe not great success, but you've done that, do me a favor and put in a 2. And if you consider yourself an experienced Forex trader, meaning you're applying trades every single week, you're making money on it, you know, you're successful, you're making a fair amount of income, put in a 3. So I see a lot of 1s. So Richard, thank you. David, Bob, Betty, Amit, Milo, Peter, howdy doody, Larry, Gary, I see you, so thank you. I see majority of 1s, some 2s, a couple of 3s, and such, so good. So I think we've got the right elements. What I'm going to be covering is applicable for everything, but I want the people that are experienced to understand you're going to learn something, and the people that are brand new, I'm going to teach it from the ground up. So I want you to understand that. So everyone, thank you for allowing that. Bill, you can actually trade Forex. Well, I don't know about the city of Alberta, or Alberta, but we do have, Bill, just to let you know, we do have people in Canada that are trading the Forex market. Now, you just have to be with the right brokerage firm, and I don't know about nationalities and such, but we do have many students in Canada that are trading the Forex market. So at the end, Bill, I'm going to give you our phone number. If you're interested, my suggestion would be give us a call, and we can kind of give you some of the details on that one. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to talk a little bit about the Forex market, okay? So we're going to talk about what you do when you are trading the Forex or the foreign exchange markets. We're going to talk about pips, okay, and why you want them and where to start them. So first off, you know, what is the Forex market, okay? Let me just talk about what the Forex market is. First off, Forex stands for foreign exchange, or we just abbreviate, we call it Forex. It's just the first 3 letters of the word foreign, the first 2 letters of the word exchange, and we put it together, we call it Forex. So it's foreign exchange or currencies, okay? Now, all it is, it's a lot simpler than it's often made out to people think it is. It is merely exchanging one currency for another. Give me a Y or yes. Have any of you listening to me, and I mean, we've got well over 100+ people. Give me a Y or yes if you have ever traveled outside your home country to another country where you had to exchange currency. So your home currency for a different country's currency. So I live in the US. I was recently over in Europe, so I had to exchange US dollars for euros. Give me a Y if you've ever done that. Because if you've ever exchanged one currency for another, that's it. That's foreign exchange. You've done it. So I recently went over to Europe. I exchanged US dollars for euros. We traveled there for like 9 days. We came back to the US. We had some extra euros. We changed them back to US dollars. Guess what? That's it. It is that simple, okay? And what the Forex market does, it trades the fluctuations of the exchange rate between the 2 currencies. Now, I used to be, I've gone to Germany many times. I just have strong connections. And the first time, this is before the euro, the first time I went, I got 2.7 Deutschmarks for 1 US dollar. The next time I went, it was only 2.4. The third time it was 1.7. So that's fluctuation. So that's all it is. It's actually very simple to understand. And when you work with the Forex market, you always trade in what we call as pairs. So the US dollar, euro, the euro, Japanese yen, the Japanese yen, Swiss franc, the Swiss franc, Aussie dollar, the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. It always works in those pairs. Now, there are many currencies around the world, but there's what we call as the big 8, okay? There are 8 major currencies. They're big, they're strong, they're stable. They still move, okay? They still move, but we're not scared of political risk. So these are the major currencies that we trade, that we personally trade on a regular basis. And you've probably heard of them all. There's the US dollar, there's the Canadian dollar, the euro, which is now the Eurozone, the Euro community, the British pound, the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, the Aussie dollar, you might hear us call it the Aussie, and the New Zealand dollar, we call that the Kiwi. Okay, so you've probably all heard these different currencies. Okay, now there's 4 major reasons that we really like the Forex market between all the major asset classes. First off, there's liquidity. And what that means is you can always get in and you can always get out. There's always a buyer and there's always a seller. You can always exit when you want, okay? It is the most liquid market on the planet. For example, I'll just pick on real estate. I've got many friends that bought a house they put a bunch of money in it to fix it up, and then they tried selling it, and then they sat on it for over 6 months. That's illiquid because there weren't a lot of buyers and sellers. Well, in this one, you don't have to wait. There's always buyers and sellers, and that's good for you because when you want to get out, you want to get out quick. You don't want it to move, a day or 2 days before you can get out. So it being liquid is a big one. Another one is the size. Okay, it is actually the largest market in the world. Let me explain this. Every single day in the Forex market, there's $5.3 trillion worth of transactions traded in the Forex market every day. It actually trades more volume than the New York Stock Exchange, the equities market, and the futures market combined. Okay, it actually trades more volume on a daily basis, okay, than the U.S. equities market does, the stock market in a year. So it's very large, very good size. That again helps us with the whole liquidity. Now, another reason that I really like it is the focus, okay? And I have traded stocks, I have traded options, I have traded futures, and I'm now trading Forex. So let me tell you why. I love stocks, I love futures, I love options. But with stocks, I found out there's 5,000 to 10,000 stocks, and it's really hard to become an expert in them, okay? I love options, love them, but there's a lot of moving parts that it takes a long time with all the different beta, gamma, theta. I love it, but it takes a lot to learn. Okay, there's a futures market again. It is many, but with the Forex market, first off, within the pairs that we do, there are only 60 currency pairs to begin with, and we only focus on about 20 of them. On any given week, we usually only look at 5 or 6. Is there anybody that's listening to me would agree that if you could just focus on 5 or 6 items per week, that maybe would simplify your life? Because is there anybody that would agree with me that it gets complicated to follow hundreds or thousands of stocks or hundreds or thousands of futures or all the moving parts of options? Because I know for me, I like it simple. Some of you maybe have heard the KISS, keep it simple, silly. That is one thing that the Forex market does. And the last one for me, which is the largest one, is the flexibility. Let me share with you how flexible it is. Okay, first off, it is the most flexible market out there. It is open 24 hours a day from Sunday afternoon 5 p.m. to Friday afternoon 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it works with any schedule. You can work first shift, second shift, third shift. The market is always open, so it's not like the stock market closes at 4 p.m. Eastern time, and then you have to wait till the next day at 9:30 a.m. To get in or out. It's not like that. It is open. So when you want to trade, when you want to get in, you want to get out, you can get in. Also, within the U.S., there is no day trading restrictions. Now, some people want to place a bunch of trades. Some people don't. But on the U.S. stock market, unless you have a certain type of account, you cannot place more than 3 trades in a day. Otherwise, you're considered a day trader. You do not have those restrictions in the Forex market. So you could place 1 trade or 10 trades a day. It doesn't matter. You can be in a trade for minutes or hours or days or weeks or months or even seconds. We're not hyper traders. We don't recommend the seconds. But if you do trade around what we call as announcements, then the announcement can come out. You could be in and out of a trade in 30 seconds, making hundreds or possibly thousands of dollars. Okay, so again, great flexibility. You can also have any size account. You can start with an account with as little as $500 and you can go higher from there. You can actually start off with what's called a demo account. You put 0 money in the account, but you still have everything else. You have the full trading capability. You can get in, you can get out. So you can actually start trading the Forex market with 0 actual money in the account. It's great, and it's very easy to ramp up. So you start with a demo account, or you start with a $500 account. You get some success, you get confidence, and slowly but surely you work it up. We had a gentleman here, I'll introduce him a little bit later, but Joshua Martinez, he started with a $500 account and he grew it to $39,000, just slowly but growing. And the Forex market, it can provide you with daily income or weekly income or monthly long-term income. Some people just want to trade it long-term, okay? In the US, it's tax advantage. Is there anyone here that likes the thought of being able to make really good money and pay a lower tax rate on their profits? Give me a Y or yes if that's you. Because within the Forex market, you have that capability, and you could, okay, William, yep, yeah. Garbo says, hey, I'm all about paying lower taxes. Yep, that's what we've got for you, okay? And within the US, you could actually trade it within retirement accounts if you so choose, okay? You have to set it up the right way that it's retirement account, but it gives you this. So how do you do it? Yep, I've got you as well as that. Thank you so much. So bottom line, the Forex market allows you just huge potential. Just huge potential. So that's one of the reasons that we really like it. Now, what is the Forex market? I'm going to introduce you to something called pips, okay? I'm going to introduce you to something called pips. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try, give me a C, type in a C or the word charts in your screen if you see my chart. So just put in C or the word charts if you can see a screenshot that shows charts. I want to make sure that everybody's got the same shot that I've got. So good, David, thank you. I just wanted to make sure. Now, this is what a screen looks like for ours. We call this the ultimate charting software. I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to try this out. Now, on the bottom right down here, you're going to see the time. This is the time. So 2017, June 27th at 1 in the morning, 1800. So you've got the timeline on the bottom. On the right side would be price. Now, in the middle, you should see where it says GBP, that's the Great British Pound, versus the New Zealand dollar, okay? On the right-hand side, if you see this 1.75, all this means is it would take 1.7, if it was right here, for example, let me just draw a line. So right here, 1.75, about right there. So if you look at it when it was right here, it would take 1.75 New Zealand dollars to buy 1 British pound. Very, very simple, okay? Then in addition, you should have, you see this 1 hour. So this is each candlestick, each bar represents 1 hour. So I just want to give you kind of a quick listen on this one. Now, we have all kinds of tools. I'll talk about these a little bit later. We've got drawing tools right here. We have some smart tools. I'm going to show you this a little bit later. We work with what's called a Fibonacci patterns. We have that. I'm going to show you this. But I want to give you an example, an earnings example, just so you can understand what a pip is. Now, our job in the Forex market, our job is to capture pips, okay? And a pip stands for price interest point. If I don't share that, people always ask me, what is a pip? And you don't have to remember it, it's called a pip, okay? And let me just share with you, for example, what a pip is. Now, I'm going to show you one of the techniques. We see this low. If you see right here, I already drew a little circle. I'll draw a little circle. We see this low right here, bounce back. So that's kind of a trigger where the market has reversed. So I'm going to demonstrate some things, but one of the things we can look for is called a candlestick pattern. So I have a bullish symbol right here. You see this green mark right here. So it says, hey, the market just turned bullish. So right there, if you see where I drew the line, is we're going to enter the market. I'm just going to give you an example of a pip. So right here, we entered the market. And let's just say I'm going to get out once it shows me a bullish candlestick formation. Again, we have all kinds of them. This is just one of the tools. So you see that red right there. So at the close of that, we would get out. So I'm just going to show you an example. I've got a tool. It's called a ruler. I'm going to click on the ruler. So we got out. We got in here. We got out there. And does everybody see in the top left-hand corner? Give me a Y or yes if you see it where it says range pips. I'm going to run that 135 pips, bars 9. Give me a Y or yes if you see where in the top left-hand side it says range pips 135, bars 9. And I'm going to write that down because otherwise I always forget about it. Okay, so David, thank you. So this generated, so this was 135 pips in 9 bars, and this is a 1 hour chart. So each bar represents 9 hours. Okay, so I just want to illustrate. This was 135 pips, and I'm going to put a line on here just so you can see where I was talking about. Now I draw a lot. I draw a lot. So right there in that little time span, right there is where I'm talking about. And this is an example where we would show you how to do things. So I'm just going to draw this down to give you an example. Now, with the Forex market, Rebecca, thank you as well. Bob, thank you. Howdy doody, good. With the Forex market, does everybody remember where I said you could start with a small account or a medium-sized account, whatever? So what a lot of people do is they'll start off with a demo account, or they'll start off something with what's called a small account. If you're trading real money, it's $500. If you want to do a demo account, it's nothing. But you can trade with something that's called a mini lot. And a mini lot requires a approximately $20 investment, okay, to trade one micro lot. So it's very simple to do. Now, in this example, if you're trading a micro lot, 1 pip of movement would equal 10 cents. Okay, 1 pip equals 10 cents. So in our example here, we have 135 pips. This would equal $13.50 in 9 hours. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, well, $13.15 in 9 hours, it's not a lot. Oh, this is powerful because you're just starting off. Okay, you're just starting off and you're learning a trade. You're learning a skill, and you can risk a little to make a little. But once you have a little bit more confidence, okay, you do the exact same thing, the exact same trade, but the only difference now is instead of trading a micro lot, you would trade something called a mini lot. It's actually 10 times larger than a micro lot, okay? This one would be a $200 investment to trade 1 mini lot, but this time 1 pip is going to equal $1 of movement. So doing the exact same trade, nothing different, you're just trading a mini lot now. Instead, you would make $135 in 9 hours, okay? Give me a me if anybody likes that concept. You find a trade, you place it as a set and forget trade perhaps, you walk away 9 hours later, you made 135 bucks. Give me a me if you like that concept. You did the exact same thing. The only difference is you have a little bit more confidence and you maybe did a mini lot. Now you can trade 2 mini lots, 3 mini lots, yes, you're not locked to just going from a micro lot to a mini lot. You can do this. But what most people aspire to get to, most people aspire to get what's called a standard lot. That's kind of once you know what you're doing, you get a little bit more comfortable, and there it is a $2,000 investment, okay? And I'll share. So there, 1 pip is now going to equal $10, okay? So using this exact same trade, the same 135 pips of movement, you now have generated $1,350 in 9 hours, okay? Now, doing the same exact thing. Now put in a yes if you like the concept even better. You find a trade, you have more confidence, you have more skill set, you've built up the size of your account, you did the exact same trade, but now instead of making $135, you're making $1,350. Now, the way this works is as follows. Let's just talk about a mini lot for just a minute. I'm gonna go back here just to go on. Let's say you do this mini lot trade, okay? So when I talk about a $200 investment, what they do is they put it on hold. So say you trade a mini lot, what they'll do is they'll take $200 and they're gonna hold on to it, kind of as collateral. So it's not spent, they just hold on to the $200 investment. Now you're in this trade down here, it goes up and you get out 9 hours later. What's gonna happen is they will give you your $200 investment back, and in this example, they would give you $135 of profit. So in an example, this $135 of profit based on a $200 investment, I've got somebody chatting me, well, and they said, yeah, that's kind of like a 65% return on investment. You know, you don't want to bet the whole farm on this, but this is an example where you can do this. And I'll talk about risk management in a little bit. You risk a little to make a lot. We always look for 2-to-1 or 3-to-1, 4-to-1 type of trades, but this is the kind of potential that you have. And somebody had asked me, he said, well, do I even have to start with a micro lot? And the answer is no. This is where we were talking about, you have the demo account, okay? And in that one, you could actually start with a 0 investment, okay? And you can still trade, okay? You still trade. So you still place the trades. You would have the same 135 pips of movement. You decide if you want to demo trade the micro, mini, or standard. And the losses or gains, they're not real in the sense that you can't take the money out, but they're still real in the account. They start you off with a set amount of money, and you can see how you're doing. So this is one of the things that a lot of people really like about the Forex market is you can start with a different size account, okay, and do that. Does anyone have any questions so far on what I've showed you, on what a PIP is, on what your job is, or the different type of accounts? Give me a no if you do not have any questions, and if you do have a question, please do type it in. So this is, first off, one of the reasons that people really like the Forex market. Okay, so good. I don't see any questions coming in. Sounds like you at least understand this basics. I'm going to try to go back to my PowerPoint deck, see if I've got that one. So we had looked at something like this one. So I just want to go back and make sure you understand this. I think everybody's got this, okay? In the Forex market, you have what's called leverage, okay? What happens is we're going to teach you how to do this, but when you set up an account, the firm that you set up the account gives you leverage, where that $200 investment can control something larger, or the micro lot. So you get leverage. And what I talked about here, this is just the example that I did. Now, Howdy Doody asked a great question, said, aren't these markets heavily influenced by world events? The question is absolutely, and that is what we're looking for. That is what we are looking for. Now, when we know there's going to be an extremely volatile announcement, for example, the first Friday of the month at 7:30 a.m. Central, so it's 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, the U.S. government announces the jobs report, the non-farm payroll, okay? That has a tendency to really move the markets. If it is a known announcement and there's a big movement, for new people, we recommend stay out of the market, okay, because it's real volatile. But if it's not that, there are different things that happen. There are some snap moves. You heard the previous speaker talk about Draghi. You know, they make different announcements, absolutely. But as a general rule, the markets move in what we call as wave patterns, and we can capture money on those wave patterns. So I'll talk about that one. Bob has asked, is PIP is a fraction amount? Yes. What it is, I don't want to get into the specifics, but the price interest point, it basically stands for 1/100th of a cent, and then each lot, for example, a standard lot would be the equivalent of 1,000 units of that currency. So that's how you come up, or 10,000, excuse me. So that's how you come up with the $10. So it is in that. How do you do it? You're very welcome. So if you have any other questions, again, if everyone doesn't know, this is a live webinar, so we do want to entertain your questions, so keep them coming. Now, one of the things that we teach people are two concepts, SET, and some called reward ratio. SET, which stands for you are always going to have the entry where you get in. You're always going to have your target. That's your target for profit. And you always put in what's called a stop. That's for protection in case it does not go in your favor. So I call it SET, stop, entry, target. Every single trade you have your entry, that's where you get in, the target where you want to get out when it works in your favor, and the stop if it doesn't, okay? This allows you to do what we call is set and forget trades. You put on the trade, as soon as you have the entry, you have your target, your stop, and you can walk away, and the software will get you out at the target or the stop, depending on what happens. There's a second concept that we use called reward to risk ratio. You never want to get into the trade unless the reward is much greater than the risk. Now, we ourselves typically will not enter a trade unless the reward is at least 2 times greater than the risk. And we oftentimes find 3-to-1, we've seen 4-to-1. I've seen examples where it could be a 10-to-1 trade. Okay, your reward is 10 times greater than the risk. Okay, doesn't happen all the time. Kathy, that is a great question. I am not familiar with that specific brokerage account. It doesn't mean you can't. So Kathy, at the end of this webinar, we're going to give you a phone number for our customer service. My recommendation would be to call, and then we can answer that question. I personally am not familiar with them, so I don't know, but when you call in, we can definitely research for you. So thank you for the question. So reward to risk ratio, never enter trade unless your reward is at least 2 times greater than the risk. So let me give you an example of this. Your risk is the distance from your entry to the stop. That is the risk, and your reward is the distance between the target and the entry, okay? So you never want to enter the trade unless it's at least 2 to 1. So an example would be, let's say we're gonna risk 100 pips, then you wanna make sure the reward itself is at least 200 pips. Give me a Y or yes if this concept of reward to risk ratio makes sense and you understand the set. Stop, entry, target. You never enter a trade unless you clearly know what your target is and you clearly know what your stop is. Give me a Y or yes. So David, thank you very much for that. Bill, I see you there. Lisa, I see you there. Kathy, I've got you on that one. Tyson, I've got you there. Good, thank you so much. Now, I want to go back. Gary, I've got you in that one. Thank you so much. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to go back to my charts. And the reason I ask the questions, I want to make sure everybody knows what I'm saying. Do me a favor, put a C or charts again if you can see my charts. I just want to make sure that your view is matching mine. So put a C or charts if you can see my charts. Okay. So it looks like I've got people. Good. David, Milo, you've got that. So good. So what I've done right now, I'm still using the British pound, New Zealand, but I just put on a 2 hour. It's a common time span that we look for. You might be in a trade, 2 to 5 days. It's kind of a swing trader. Bill, Bob, good. Thank you so much for seeing charts. Thank you so much. It's really helping me making sure that you can see what we're doing. And one of the tools that we use is called Fibonacci. Now, let me just kind of show you. I'm going to do a clean screenshot up here. And I want to show you typically what the market does and how we trade it, okay? So I'm going to put on my trend line. I'm going to make it black. And let's just see it this way. Now, typically, what we see is the market goes up. It makes a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. Is everybody seeing this? Is everybody kind of familiar with this kind of wave pattern? Is everybody familiar? Does this make sense? And then the market reverses. It comes down, makes a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and so forth. Does this kind of make sense with everybody? This is typically what the market does. The market does not move in straight lines. And what we do is at the beginning, when the market reverses and it makes this new low and it reverses, it's going up. We call that point high. And this point right here, where it makes this higher high and then reverses, we call that the B. It comes down, it reverses, it makes a higher low, that would be our C. And then up here again, this would be our D. So we look for something called an A, B, C, D. It's not an Elliott wave, it's called a Fibonacci wave, but we can definitely understand what you're talking about. This is called the A, B, C, D, okay? And we're going to be talking about Fibonacci. Let me do this. I'm going to open up a brand new screen, and I'm going to just do a Google, and I'm going to talk about Fibonacci, and I'm going to Fibonacci, and I'm going to put this in, okay? And any of you can Google this if you want. And I'm just going to go, for example, now this is the guy. This is the guy. His name is Fibonacci, and he's got a real long name. He's a mathematician. He was around in the 12th, 13th century, and he saw something. He saw a wave pattern that repeated itself over and over and over again. And he saw it, first off, he saw it in nature. And if you see a pine cone and you see the number of, it goes around circular and it goes up and down, he realized that when you count it, they all follow this certain pattern. It's called the golden ratio. And you can look at an egg, and you can look at sunflower seeds, you can look at an ear, you can look at how everything works, and it always follows this, okay? You can even look at artwork and how everything follows the distance. I think I saw something that was called a human nature. And when you look at the human body The distance on the ear, how the curvature works, it follows this. The distance from your nose to your forehead and chin. And it's this pattern that repeats itself over and over and over again. What he did is he discovered this pattern, and he just saw that it repeated itself. And our founder, Jared Martinez, he also realized that the market moves in waves. The market, the market moves in this Fibonacci waves. And here's a way it works. It works as follows. So I've got something here called the MTI Fibonacci retracement. All I'm going to do is, it's a tool. I can put on the bottom where the A is and click on this top right here, and I've got this B. Okay. And let me kind of share with this one. We know that when the market does an AB, it's going to take a breather. It's going to come back. It's going to retrace. And if it comes down and retraces anywhere, if it comes back and retraces anywhere in this red area, okay, I'm going to paint this red if I can. I'm going to make this box red. Okay, this is what we call as the red zone. If it comes down to that red area, okay, then it is, does everybody see down here? It came down to this red zone. It stopped to retrace. Then it's going to come up to this red line right here or above. So red zone down here to the red line above, we're going to notice it goes up there, okay? But we also discover that if it comes down to this blue area, it comes down a little bit further, okay? I'm going to make this right here. I'm going to paint this blue. If instead, if the market, for example, comes down to this blue line, this blue zone, and before it retraces, it's going to go back up to this blue line right there, okay? And if the market comes down to what we call as this green zone, okay, that would be a deep retracement. I'm going to make this green. Try to make it as easy as possible. Let's see if I can find green, okay? And if the market, in fact, comes down, oh, let me put on this, sorry. If it comes down to this green zone right here, before it comes down, then we expect it to go up to this green line right here. And let me just type this right here. So red zone to red line above, blue zone to blue line above, and green zone to green line above. Okay, give me a Y or yes if you understand the basics. If it retraces down to the red zone, then we expect it to go up to the red. If it goes down to the blue zone, then we expect it to go to the blue line above. And if it goes down to the green zone, we expect to go up the green line. Give me a Y or yes. So David, you've got it. How do you do it? Good. So I just want to explain, that is first off a Fibonacci. Now, if you understand, 50, 60% of what I just covered right now, you've got a big head start. So here's what happens. The market goes up to AB, it comes back and retraces in C. Now, we're going to teach you some patterns. I already showed you we use I showed you we look for certain candlestick formations. The market reverses, we see something happens, it retraces, we use our candlestick formations. We would get in there and we would not get out until, like this is a red, until it hits that red line right there. I'm going to do it different. If everybody sees right here, we see this red line. So when it hits right there, we would get out. We would not run any further. It could keep on going. We don't care. But we got in down here by the C, we got out the D, and we got out and we took our money. Okay. Now, once we are out of the trade, we look for a new AB. And here's what's so nice about it. Our old C becomes our new A. Our old C, once we're done with that first trade, our old C becomes our A. This is so simple, okay? And if you're getting it already, you're gonna find out with a little bit of practice you do it, okay? So this is what happens. We have a new AB and we do it again. We would put in our Fibonacci again, okay? And this is what we happen. We see that it comes down right here. Everybody see that? It came down to the red zone and it goes up to the red line. And we do it again. And we keep on going and we keep it going. Now, and somebody asked, does this work on the downside? And the question is yes, it also works on the way down. Oh, I'm trying to, let me just get rid of that. And it also works on the way down. So when the market goes down as well, we can use our Fibonacci. So the market moves in these wave patterns, and we see this time and time again, okay? So do this on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 would be, I get the basic concept. 1 would be, I didn't understand anything you talked about at all, just basic understanding. Give me a 1 to 10 rating of what I've covered so far. That when it retraces, if it retraces down into the red zone, we expect it to go up to the red line, and the market repeats itself, we do it. So Milo, I've got a 10. David, I've got a 10. Howdy Doody, I've got a 10. So good. This is the basic concept. So you've already got, do this. How can this be set and forget sense? Okay. Well, Bob, it's not that we can predict the future, but the market has a tendency to repeat itself. It's not 100%. It is definitely not foolproof. You will definitely get stopped out for losses. But you're going to find that the market moves in wave patterns, okay? So it's not, we in a sense, we're predicting the wave pattern. So let me go back to the live market, and I'll show you an example, okay? So here's how this is going to work. Okay, here's how it's going to work. Let me just, for example, I've got this tool right here. I can do this manually. I've got this low. Does everybody see this low down here? I'm just waving. This is the new low, okay? And I can go up. Well, let me shrink this in a little bit closer. Let me shrink this in and make it a little bit closer for everybody, okay? So what I can do is the market set a new low, and I can come in here. I can put in my Fibonacci, and sure enough, it followed this wave pattern. Okay, it came in, the market went down right there, and it came up and it exceeded my A. So right there in this example, on this particular trade, we made, wow, this was a beautiful, beautiful trade. This right here would have been, let me see what that is. That would have been about 305 pips in 3 hours. Excuse me, okay, 300, so this would have been plus 305 pips. It was 3 bars, that was 6 hours, in 6 hours, okay? So if you were trading, for example, a mini lot, this would be 305, go on the next one. This would be $305 profit in 6 hours based on a mini lot, okay? So this is an example right here, and I can make the screen a little bit easier to see. I just have to redo it real quick right here. So this is an example where it went down, and then guess what? We would do it again. Once we get out of the trade, we would apply the Fibonacci again right here, okay? And sometimes we make money, and sometimes we have to wait, and here's what happened. Sure enough, came down right here. And on this trade, we would have actually had to wait until right there, okay, before we actually hit it. And let me use my ruler on this one. So on this example, this is going to be a little bit longer. We made 411 pips and 127. 411 and 127. Okay, let me write that one down. So that trade would have been plus 411 pips in, I said 127 hours. Okay, so that would be about 5 days. Nope, that'd be, excuse me, it'd be double that. That'd be 254 hours. So that would be, oh, let's call it what it is. That'd be about 10 days, 11 days. 11 days, okay. And this would be $411 of profit. Again, based on a mini lot, there we go. Based on a mini lot, or $4,110 of profit based on a standard lot. And most people's goal is to get to a standard lot. So here is an example. Here is an example where you would do it. So Bill is asking a great question. How would we answer, or how would we enter? Okay, let me try to explain this. And my goal today is to kind of share with you some of the basics. My goal isn't to try to get you 100% on this specific strategy. But what we would do is, in this last AB, we saw this last AB, okay? We came down, and right here, we see our C, okay? Everybody sees our C. okay? Hopefully you do. Right there, we have our C. After the C, and we tell you, we're looking for 2 bars, 2 candlesticks to the right above, 2 candlesticks to the left above, and then we look for our entry. And then there are some different techniques we use, but one of them is working with candlesticks. And these are the candlestick formations. Make it easy. You could hit select all, and we see our entry right here. So here's an example. I'm just using the tools. This is what's so powerful about the software is we get that green candlestick, and right there it says go ahead and enter. Boom. So that is an example of what we would do. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you, this was one trade. We were in and out in 6 hours. This other one took about 2 weeks. But if you got to the standard lot, let's just say you did one trade on a standard lot and you made $4,000 and you didn't do anything else. Did you make real money, or was it just on some, I'm not very, okay. Kathy's asking this question. Did you make real money, or was it just on simulated the demo? That is completely up to you. This is our trading strategy. And if you were brand new, you probably did it on the demo account, or maybe a mini lot, and maybe you didn't make, you know, $305, maybe you made $30. And maybe you didn't make the 411, you made this. So this is just, it really depends on your particular size of your account and your trading strategy. But I just wanted to kind of share with you, you know, how we do things. Now let me turn this off. I want to show you the power of the automation. I want to show you the power of the automation. Now I've been doing this all manually so far. But let's just say this is the market a little bit more, you know, bunched up, or it's the whole market a little bit. Let me just show you this, how this works. I could go down here to this low, okay? Does everybody see right down here, this low? I'll show you. We have this low down here. See if I've got it. Everybody see that? So I could continue to do this manually, and I think it's not manual, but we've got a tool right here. It's called Smart Fibonacci, where it will draw it. Maybe you're not sure if, geez, did I draw it right? Did it not work? You know, did something else happen? So let me just give an example. All you do is you click on Smart Fibonacci, you click on the tool, you go to this low, and you click on it, and look at this. Does everybody see this? It will draw on the Fibonacci for you all automatically, And I'm going to expand this out, and this is automated, meaning in the sense that if you want to, oh, I've got a lot of extra stuff up there, so I'll try to keep what I did before up there, so you can see what's going on. That was just when I drew it by hand. But this is an example. This is an example on this particular trade, on this strategy, just using the Fibonacci. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in a row that it put on there. Now I want to show you the first 6, made money in the first one, made money in the second one, made money in the third one, made money in the fourth, made money in the fifth, made money in the sixth. So here's what we had. We had six winning trades, okay? And then on the last one losing trade. We do not win 100% of the time. I want you to understand. So on this last trade, let me just kind of show you how this last trade would have formed up. Okay, right here we've got our AB right there, and then we had our C right there, and then our goal was it was going to go up to there, and it never got to that level. Okay, I didn't talk about our stop, but our stop would have been at this A, right below the A, right below the A. So on this last trade, we would have gotten stopped out about right there. And on this particular trade, we would have lost 179 pips. 179 pips. So going down to our example, you know, I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future, but based on our 2-to-1, you know, if on average you're winning, let's just call it an average, okay? Some can be more, some can be less. But if you're making, you know, 350 pips on your winning trades, and on the losing trades, I'm just talking about we would not enter a trade unless it's the 2-to-1. You would lose 175 pips. But can you see we're using this trading strategy, doing it over and over and over again? And somebody asked me to do the actual numbers. Okay, so in this example, just to show everybody, so the 6 times 350, this would be, we won on the winning trades 2,100 pips. We lost the one time minus 175 pips. So if we do that, see if I can figure out my math, I think it would be 1,000. So it would be plus 1,925 net pips. Okay. And the reason I'm showing you this is I want you to understand that the market moves in waves. The market moves in waves, and the automation, I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to play around, to get everything I'm showing you right now. I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to try for less than the cost for a pack of gum. So I just want to let you know, I've showed you a lot of information, but let's just talk about, you know, on the way down, you know, I can again go here, and not every trade is going to win. Not every time are we going to get 6 in a row. I'm just trying to bring us to the live market right now, if I can. And if I put on the smart Fibonacci, if I could do this just right. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, I didn't put it on right. Normally I have to squish this in a little bit closer just to show you. But if I did this right here, we've got 1, 2, 3. And right now, this would be the most recent trade. I've got my charts. Yes. Betty, I'm going to show you that in a minute. When do you use auto and when do you use manual? Betty asked a great question. You know, honestly, it's kind of like doing math by hand. That's the manual. And once you understand the basic concept, use a calculator. Use a calculator. So Betty, to answer your question, we're going to teach you how to use the manual. But for me, I just use the auto fibs. It's like using a calculator versus doing it manually. We want you to understand the concept. So I would probably use auto fibs. If I'm following this, I would just do this. So the current trade that we have right now is we're at our AB right here. Okay. Now we have a rule. It didn't retrace a lot, came down, and now, you know, right here would be the deepest retracement. So that's still in the red zone. So our expectation would be somewhere down this red line, somewhere down this red line, and you know. That's kind of the current market. Okay. Now, my goal here was to demonstrate some of the tools, and there's so much more. We've got, for example, when you go to the services, there's a tool right here called education. Okay. So within the education tool, I already have it loaded up. Sorry. Within the education tool, for everybody that would want to give this a try, we have something called the Ultimate Charting Software Onboarding Series. Okay. So we've got these different lessons. They're kind of like what I call as the mini lessons. It's 5 minutes on each of the different sections. So everything that I've been showing you about, we've got some videos on, and you can go through the 5 lessons, okay? And then, so we just have this built on the first 5 lessons, and then you can go on, and then you can go on the next lessons, and then everything on that. So we're gonna give you access to that. In addition, on the Ultimate Charting Software, when you're on there, we have tutorials. So you click to help and you go to tutorials. And on the tutorial page, there's also, again, these 2 to 5 minute mini video presentations, if you would. It is done in a very clear, easy to understand language. You can go back. So we want you to understand this. We have live trading too, but I find these tutorials, I find the onboarding, that I just showed you, I find this so easy. So I've showed you a lot of information, but I want you to understand that if you try this out, you want to kick the tires on it, we recommend that everybody do go ahead and do this. You're going to get access to this, and you're going to be able to do this less than the cost of a deck of cards. Now I'm going to do something else. In addition to getting the software, everything that I've showed you here, everything that I've been doing, we're going to do something else. I'm also going to give you access to a special strategy. Now, Joshua Martinez, he is a phenomenon. He is a phenomenal trader. He's world-renowned. He's traded tens of thousands of people. This is the gentleman that I talked about that he generated. He turned a $500 account. He started just like many of you would probably do. He did not have a lot of money. He was new. This is 8 years ago when he started. He turned a $500 account into and generated over $39,000 of profit. If you want to talk about return on investment, it's incredible. He's a published author. He's an international speaker. He's a full-time trader. This is what he does. We actually post his results. He does phenomenal. He does not have drawdown. He has about a 75% winning ratio. What that means is for every 100 trades, 75 of the 100 are winners, 25 are losers. But what's key about what he does, when he loses a little bit. When he wins big. And what I like, if any of you understand about how things are generated, he has done phenomenal. Down here, this is it. Win ratio. His win ratio, he has a 76% win ratio, and it is phenomenal. The reason I am showing you what he's done is, along with, if you want to try out the software, we're going to let you try it out. We're going to let you kick the tires for a week, and I'm just going to tell you ahead of time. We're going to let you try it out for $1, okay, less than the cost of gum. In addition, Joshua has a lot of winning strategies, but one of the strategies he has is called the London Daybreak strategy. And what it is, it's the British pound versus all the different currencies. So the British pound, Canadian dollar, US dollar, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, New Zealand dollar, the Aussie dollar. He's going to show you. I'm going to give you the strategy. We're going to explain how the strategy works in detail. And on average, every day it's 50 pips of movement for every one of these currencies. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's 6. 6 times 50 is 300 pips, okay? Times 5 weeks. So this strategy gives you don't have to take every trade. You don't have to take every trade. But this strategy, the London Daybreak strategy, is going to give you 30 trading opportunities every single week, okay? We're going to explain the strategy. Joshua has got a training video. It's 36 minutes long, 35 minutes long. He's going to go through in depth. We've got all the tutorials to make sure you understand. So if you decide to kick the tires and try this for $1 for a week, we're going to throw in this London Daybreak strategy for you. And we've had a lot of people that have already tried it, and they've done well. I'm just going to read this. This is a guy who just put this in, Frank. I have to tell somebody, so I came here. Does anyone actually pay attention to the London Daybreak session? I still can't believe this gold mine. 60 pips per currency pair for the British pound. That's roughly 400 pips a week. Can't believe this stuff is for real sometimes, and maybe we need a course in success and how to manage. Here's what you get. On a standard lot, he just talked about it, you're looking at anywhere from $400 to $4,000 of potential every single week. Okay, it is absolutely amazing. Okay, absolutely amazing. So, so here's what we're going to be offering for you. You can try out, you can kick the tires, you can try the ultimate charting software, okay, where you're going to get access to this exclusive automated Fibonacci tool. I didn't even show you the trend lines. We can do trend lines. There's King's Crown. There's candlesticks. I didn't even show you. I could actually go back. Let me show you a couple more of these because I probably should have done that. Let me just go back to here. So one of the strategies too that we work with is called trend lines. Okay, so I can draw a trend line right on here. I can draw that, and some people say, yeah, but Steve, I'm not good at trend lines. We have a smart trend line tool where you can click it on there, and it'll draw it for you. If I can click on the right item. Let me go down here, just because I've got so many things on my screen. But when you put on this automated tool, it'll draw these trend. I've got to go to a clear space just to show you what I can do. So when you do the trend line, let me go to some clear space. Sometimes people said, hey, I'm not real good with that. So you can click on your charts and it'll draw the smart line for you. We also have something called King's Crown. We have a lot of, somebody asked about Elliott Wave. We've got all these different tools that are provided on there automatically. Let's just say you want to enter this trade after it crosses above this trend line. Well, you can actually set something called an alert. All I do is I right click, I add an alert, and an alert box is going to come on, and you can say, hey, once it crosses above this, send me an alert, send me a text, send me an email. Heck, if you wanted to actually enter the trade, you can put it right in there for you. In addition, we have workspaces, okay? If people try this out, we also have some workspaces that we will download that you can try it out right within this platform. We actually give you the capability. When you get this, you will actually get a demo account, so to speak, set up right on that. When you set it up, when you want to buy something, it's going to ask you what account, and you can actually set up right here. Everybody see Forex demo? So when you try the software, it actually sets up for you a demo account, so you don't even have to go out and do it on your own. You can actually try it out and practice. So it's just very, very powerful. Okay, so let me go back to my PowerPoint deck, see if I've got this right. So you've got all these different things, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to give you the capability. You're going to get a 7-day trial for $1. A 7-day trial for $1. Now, this trading software normally for our other students runs for $250 a month. If beyond that 7 days you want to keep it, you don't have to. But if you want to keep it, it's just $59 a month. You're getting about 80% off. But with the 7-day trial, it's $1. You're going to get everything I showed you. You get that charting software. You got that auto Fibonacci capability. You get the ABCD, the auto trade. You're going to get all the virtual workspaces. You're going to get everything I've talked about. We're going to give you the whole onboarding series. Okay, everything I've showed you. And this is what it is. Normally, this charting software is normally $249 a month. This is what our students regularly, but is a special program that we have for the Investors Inspiration. For Investors Inspiration, what we're going to be providing for you is we're going to give you a 7-day trial for $1. Okay, after the 7-day trial, if you want to keep it, it's $59 a month. My recommendation is kick the tires on it, try it out for 7 days. You decide if you want it. In addition, we're going to give you some fast action bonuses. We're going to give you 3 templates already set from Joshua. We're going to give you the information, the knowledge, the training for the London daybreak strategy. And let me do something here. I've got to load this in the box. Let me do this. I'm going to load so you can access. All you need to do, it's a long link. Let me see if I can put it in here. I'm going to go paste, and I'm going to go send all. Okay, do me a favor. It's a lot of numbers. I apologize. Give me, yes, it is. Bill is asking, is this live data? The answer is yes. This is not simulated. It is not delayed. It is that. Put in a Y or yes. If in the question box you saw a link, it started with https:// had a lot of numbers. Give me a Y or yes if that link showed up. Because I'm going to put it in 2 different places. I'm going to put it in both the chat box and the question box. I want to make sure that everybody got it. Do me a favor. Put in a Y or yes if you can see it. All you have to do, send to all. Okay? Okay, so E. Anderson, I see yes. Bob, you put no. So you're going to, on your screen, you're going to see a question box and you're going to see a chat box. I put it in both areas. Yes, so Bill is asking, is live data included in the platform? The answer is yes, it is. It is not delayed. This is part of the demo. You got to try it, everything we have here. Bill, I just want to let you know, I've never seen delayed data. The exception is going to be the market is open to retail traders from Sunday afternoon, 5 p.m. Eastern, to Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. The market is closed from Friday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, so you can still see it. It's still there. You can't trade the live market because it's not open. But with that, but if it's from Sunday 5 p.m. to Friday 5 p.m. Eastern, yes, it is live market, live data. Everything is in there. So good. It looks like it's come through on this. So here's what I would recommend everybody do. Do me a favor. You can do it right now. I want to make sure that you capture it. So go ahead and click on that, because when the webinar closes, you won't be able to see that, or copy and paste it. But here's what's going to happen. If you click on that, it's going to bring you to this page right here. It's going to bring you to this page right here, and this is how you sign up for it, okay? It's going to cost you, it says right here, initial payment $1. And you just put the country that you're in. If you're in the US or whatever, you put in the zip code. You can pay by Visa or MasterCard, Discover. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to go to the live. I already have it loaded up. Okay, this is the real screen right here. This is live screen. I just clicked on the link. It brought me right here. So you put in the zip code, how you want to pay, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, American Express. We've got some different forms of payment. Your name, your card number, expiration, security code, email. I agree, and you click on it, pay now. Okay, and that's how you get it. It is very simple to do. So you have your own Forex trading platform. Okay, so Bob asked a great question. So you have your own Forex trading platform. Okay, this is a charting software and it links in with other brokerage firms. So officially, we do not call it a brokerage platform, okay? We are not a trading firm. You cannot, we don't place the trades for you, but the software that I showed will link in with many, many, many other Forex trading platforms. Now, with this exception, if you want to just try the demo account, you don't have to set up another account. You can do the trading demo here. Understand the profits and losses are demo, they're simulated, so you don't put it in your pocket, you don't lose your own real money, but you can see your results. And then to trade live, when I talked about opening up a $500 trading account, you would do that with the Forex brokerage firm of your choice. We cannot make recommendations, but we can give you options, okay? There's, like in the US, there's some, in Canada, there's some, in Europe, there's some, so we can definitely let you know the different opportunities, the different options. But you can go on there, or offline, you can ask us, hey, who do I have it from? I'm not making a recommendation. I can tell you who I go with. But if you don't have a Forex brokerage account right now, it doesn't matter. You can sign up for this, you can get it, and you can do the Forex demo account that is included and kick the tires with it. So if you do not yet have a Forex trading account open, you can still take full advantage, 100% full advantage of everything I showed you by doing what the S.E.T Forex demo account. So Bob, it sounds like you've got it. Does that make sense? Give me a Y or yes if that makes sense to everybody. So that's all you do. You put it in there, you try it out. Do you give trade suggestions? So Bob, is that yes and no? And I'm not sure. We show, part of our school, we do trade setups, okay? I cannot tell you to take the trade. I am not a CTA. I'm not a commodity trading advisor. So I can't tell you, Bob or Bill and Guillermo, everybody, I can't tell you to take the trade, but I can tell you, this is a trade I'm taking. This is what we see. So to answer your questions, do we give trade suggestions? The answer is yes. But they're suggestions. We do it as part of education. You decide if it fits your risk parameters. We talk really big about risk parameters. Does it fit your objectives and everything else? But part of our school, part of our education on a daily basis, yes, I guess to answer your question. Okay. Yes, E. Anderson is asking, is a subscription month to month? Yes. If you sign up for it, the first initial period is $1 for a week. If you decide to keep it, it's $59. If you want to cancel, say please cancel at the end of them. So you have to complete that month's subscription, if that makes sense. So if you pay $59, you get it for that 30 days. And if you decide to cancel, then it would stop at the end of that month. Do you have to, Betty is asking, do you have to have a brokerage account before the trial and the chart? Absolutely not. With this understanding, Betty, you can everything I've showed you, you can do. You can actually place trades with the demo account built in, and you can see everything. You can get the functionality. You can see your wins and losses with pips. So you do not have to have a brokerage account set up before the trial and the chart. I'll be honest, Betty. I didn't have a brokerage account for a long time. I just did the simulated trades right here in what I showed you. And quite frankly, that's how a lot of people start, is they do the simulated trades, so they don't even have a brokerage account. So that is a great question. So everybody that's seen what I've showed you, you can do right now. You do not have to have a Forex brokerage account. Somebody else is asking, hey, is this only good on Forex? And the answer is no. You can actually do other things. So when you go to the chart, you open up Forex, you can do it on. You can do stocks, you can do favorites. There's like oil, the SPY, there's volatility. There are many different capabilities that you can set in the charts. So it's not just Forex. We have built this for Forex, but you can trade stocks on it. You can do like ETFs. You can look at different things. So there's a lot of capabilities. I've got some templates set up. So absolutely, you can do different things with it. So let me find that link again where I have it. I'm going to put it in again. I want to make sure that everybody has the link. So to try it out, I think it's a great program. Hey, for $1. Okay, as I like to say, for less than the, I bought my daughter chewing gum, and I can't believe what you have to pay for that stuff right now. So for less than the cost of a pack of chewing gum, you can try this out. Sorry, it does not. Okay. So Is anybody else having problem with the link? Let me just, I'm going to go in, I'm going to go to a, let me just try this. I'm going to a clear, I'm doing copy and paste. I'm going to put it in there and it brings me to this. So if it doesn't work, let me do this. I'm going to give you a phone number. If that link does not work, I'm going to give you the opportunity to get, okay, Betty said it worked. Yes. How can you use for stock? Can you do a demo on Apple? You know, Betty, right now, for the sake of time, unfortunately, we only have very limited time right here. So I don't have the time to go in and show you how to set up that. I'm set up on a Forex, and I'll just let you know, I'm set up on a Forex account on mine, not a stock account. So I couldn't actually, I guess you could do a demo. Great question, I don't know. So basically the steps to get started, just click on the link that I gave you in both the chat and the question box, okay? We're gonna give you the information, but what you wanna do is you wanna view those video training lessons. There's both on charting, and you're gonna get this other one on the London Daybreak. That's something we're gonna give you. Now, you set up a trading account, live or free demo, and I just wanna let you know, within this charting software, there is the demo account where you can see the progress. But if you wanna continue on, you can do this. And you start practicing, you start trading. You can literally do that today. You try out the ultimate charting software, do it for the next 7 days, and you decide. I forgot to tell you too, we do a live training class every Friday. So today is Saturday. So on Friday, we're gonna do a live trading class on the program, on the ultimate charting software, okay? So here's what you're getting. For the 7-day charting software, you're gonna get it for $1, for $1, okay? If during these 7 days, for any reason, you're unsatisfied with the ultimate charting software, you can simply cancel your trial subscription. You can do it via phone number or via email. So we're having this. Now, in addition, if you see this phone number, if you have any questions, I'm gonna provide the same information. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. So right here, if you have any questions. Now, I'll just let you know, a lot of our staff, we have some staff on Saturdays, not on Sunday. You know, we wanna give our staff off. If you have questions, please, 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 everybody, write down this phone number right now, because at the end of the webinar, you won't see it anymore. But write down this phone number in your notes, okay? You can sign up right now in the link that I've given you. Just go ahead and sign up. If you have questions, a couple of you asked questions and said, boy, give us a call. Call us at this phone number. You can email us at this email address. Now, I just want to let you know, a lot of times when we do the investor inspiration, it's during the week. We have many staff. On the weekends, if you call us on a Saturday, late Saturday like it is right now, and nobody answers, is it fair for everybody to understand it won't be until Monday morning, you know, probably 6, 7 a.m. Eastern time before they would get back to you if you leave a message or call. Does that make sense? We want our staff to enjoy life too. The market as a whole is closed on Saturday and Sunday. So if you do call or if you do get emails, just understand that over the weekend, Sunday there's nobody. Bill, that's a great question. I have not been asked that question. Best suggestion, Bill, give us a call. Sorry about that. So again, here's what you want to do. You want to enroll in the ultimate charting software. Kick the tires on it. Try it for 7 days. It's going to cost you $1, okay? Watch the training videos. Watch the tutorial that is part of the software. Watch the special onboarding videos that I showed you. Let me pull that up again. See if I can find it. So we've got those. So we've got 2 of them. We've got the Ultimate Charting Software onboarding series. Also within the Ultimate Charting Software, we have different tutorials. Okay, and then we're also going to give you that London Daybreak. I didn't pull that up, but that's a special video that we provide you, and you can watch it as many times as you want. You can watch it over and over again, okay? Then you start practicing. You try it out. Attend the live trading, okay? So this is my last slide, everyone. So if you have, can we use this for equity trading, Betty has asked. So the answer is the software, the ultimate charting software that I showed, it does work for equities. It does work for stocks, okay? It's about being linked in with the brokerage firm, okay? So the answer is we have Forex, we have ETFs, we have stock trading, that you have the capability, if it does, so it still does not, you know, the link, okay, Joe, I'm gonna try it one more time. Josephine, I apologize. I've had other people that have said the link work. I'm gonna just try it one more time, and I'm gonna click the whole thing. I'm gonna go copy, and I'm gonna put it on there again, Okay, and I'm going to send all, and then I'm going to copy and paste what I have there, and I'm going to go to a clean screen. And if at the end of the day it doesn't work, then give us a call. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm copy and pasting it right there, and it should start with the H. If you're doing the all, that might be why it's not working. Okay. And I'm gonna hit that, and it brings us to that. So Josephine, I don't know why it's not working. I know on mine it does. I'm gonna speculate. Maybe you put in the A, the very beginning, or you cut off a character, but it should work. Does the chart work on, I forget, smartphones? We have the application, what we're showing you, we have the capabilities to do this on computers, so that would be laptops and desktops. It works on tablets, and it works on smartphones. So the answer is, I guess, David, if I'm asking, yes, it does. What I kind of call it, it's the charts on steroids. This thing is a phenomenal program. It works fantastic. Everything goes well. If you do have any other questions coming, please do let me know. Let me see. I want to go back to my charts. Okay, so we are now at the end of this webinar. If you liked what you saw, if you liked learning, here's what I'm going to ask everybody to do. For $1, you're going to get thousands of dollars of training. Okay, you're going to learn about the London daybreak strategy, and even if just to get that and understand it is worth thousands of dollars. We normally have education, we teach people. You're going to get that one. You're going to get the tutorials to understand how the charting software works. You're going to get the special onboarding. You're going to learn more. If you've never worked with Fibonacci, I want to tell everybody, in the past, I'd heard of Fibonacci. I had worked with it a little bit, but I never got properly trained. If you just want to understand Fibonacci's, you might be utterly, utterly amazed how often it works dead on. It goes right to the point that you think it is phenomenal. So I would encourage anyone and everyone that wants to learn how to make money in the markets and how to use a simple tool to its fullest. This is incredible automation. I showed you the opportunity that Jared Martinez, our founder, it would take him an hour to do things that we can now do in 1 to 2 to 3 seconds. It is absolutely amazing. But if nothing else, try it for the 7 days. If you keep it beyond that, that is completely up to you. Here's what I feel. If you try it for the 7 days and you apply yourself, you look at the tutorials, you go on there, I think you're gonna like it, and I think you might just decide to keep it. And if instead though, you don't use it, then cancel. I'm gonna tell you, if you're not using it, if it doesn't apply, just cancel it, but at least get the education. At least learn about that London daybreak strategy. I get it, because you know something, I have signed up for things before and didn't use it. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing that 7-day trial for just $1. And I don't know if any of you have done this. I've done other trials with this where I tried it out for 7 days or the 14 days. And I said, yeah, thanks, but no thanks, and I canceled. And I got a whole lot for that. We want to make it easy. Our goal here is to make this so easy and so simple for you. There are no gimmicks. There's no high pressure. There's nothing. We just want you to try it out, because we feel confident if you try it out and take advantage of it, you might just decide to keep it. If you try it out, it's not for you, no loss, definitely cancel. Can you please tell us more about the ETF? So Harry's asking you, please tell me more about the ETF and options. I'll just show you on here, for example. Let me just go to a clean screen. Okay, and I use this predominantly for this, but when I go to the charting software, I can open up a new charts. I can go to stocks. Somebody had asked about Apple. I could open up, say, let me open up a 15-minute chart on Apple, and I'll close this. So this is now an Apple chart, okay? And now you can still use, for example, you can still apply some of the tools. So if I want to do the Fibonacci, right, I can still apply the tools right here. Again, I haven't worked on this a lot. I can zoom in. Apple is the one that, in my opinion, it definitely moves. If I want to put on my trend lines, I can put on my trend lines. I can use, if I want to set up a King's Crown. This is not a good example of the King's Crown. This isn't a King's Crown. But I just want to show you, all the tools still apply. Okay, they still apply. So all the tools that I showed you about the trend lines, everything else, if you want to use this, if I want to change it to an hour chart, I can change it to an hour chart. It's just got to reload. If I want to change it to a 1 minute chart, I can do this. So from the charting software perspective, and now this is down to a 1 minute. I personally wouldn't trade Apple on a 1 minute unless you're trying to trade an announcement. There's definitely opportunities. So just want to let you know, you can definitely do that. There's different opportunities. Again, we do predominantly Forex because that's where we specialize in. We have a lot of that. So I'm gonna put in the link just one last time. Want to make sure everybody has it. I think you probably do, but we're going to be ending. We're going to be ending the webinar very, very shortly. So if you have not yet done it, please do me a favor, copy and paste what I put in there, the link. I want to make sure that everybody has it. Let me go back to my slideshow. And also, if you haven't done this, I'm going to back up a couple slides. I want to make sure you have the phone number. Let me go back here. If you haven't done this, everyone, if you have even 1% of interest and you don't have that link open, do me a favor, at least write down this phone number, and I'll read it off if you can't read it. 1-800-866-7431. That's 1-800-866-7431. You can call us on Monday. We've got our email, cs@markettraders.com. But for everyone else, I would encourage you to click on that link, open it up. It's $1, a credit card, put it on there, kick the tires, have fun over the weekend. You're going to get access to the different videos. We're going to give you the London daybreak strategy. You're going to get that. On Friday, there's a live trading session, and then you decide for there if it's you. So I don't see any other questions, so I want to be respectful of time. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you sincerely for being here, at least here in the US. It's Saturday afternoon. If you're over in Europe, I know it's Saturday evening. Thank you. And if you're other parts of the world, I know it's a lot earlier or later, so I want to do that. So again, get started and roll in the charting software, try it out, watch the videos, kick the tires on it. It's an incredible offer. 7-day trial for $1. Then after that, if you decide to keep it, it's up to you. And I'm going to go back to our phone number, make sure you have that. So with that, Matt, I don't know if you're still there. I'm done. I'm going to turn it back over to you to kind of, I'm not sure if we're done another speaker, but I'll let you take it from here. Okay, looks like I am the last speaker. So if there are no other questions, okay, please do keep them coming in the chat box. We want to thank everybody for coming and participating in today's Investors Inspiration. We appreciate you taking the time, getting all the information today, listening to all the different speakers. We sincerely appreciate it. If you don't mind, in the question box, chat box, let me know, did you learn anything today? Did you get anything out of it? And if you did, type in what you got out of it, what you learned out of it. We enjoy hearing that. With that, we're going to sign off. We want to thank everybody for being here today, and we want to wish everybody a fantastic, fantastic weekend. Feel free to put in your comments. We greatly appreciate it. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.